Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Secretary, for being here today.
It's good to see you.
I want to talk a little bit about Representative Clauser mentioned some of those line items. I, too, am concerned about them. Representative Effort acknowledged that as well. But, you know, some of these small line items like the hardwoods, I guess it's called hardwoods research and promotion, $350,000. That's so important to all of us in the northern tier and the Northeast. You know, our landowners in that region protect large tracts of land, whether it be family farms, hunting camps, youth camps, even state forests, state lands. And the one way that they own those properties and have had the ability to sustain ownership and the ability to pay for those carrying costs is to cut timber every year, just enough that they can maintain the property. And, you know, if you can help promote them anyway to some overseas or foreign market, it's very helpful. If they can get a few more dollars for that cherry or maple or hardwood tree, it's so helpful to them. And not to mention as far as research. I mean, you're talking about a stink bug. I can tell you that a certain caterpillar going across a hard maple ridge can be devastating to a family's income for numerous years. So it's a small line item, but it's very important to some of our families. And I know, you know, we talk in this room a lot about the quality of water in our Commonwealth and how important it is. But there's nothing more important to the quality of water than in today's world when you got a 50 degrees here. The snowpack in the northern tier is coming down. Some of that super clean water is flowing down past our city here today, flowing past our city in Philadelphia today. And this small line item helps protect those large tracts of land that filter that water to all of us. So it's one of those line items today. We heard from the treasurer that, you know, he was cut staffing because he was asking for staffing to collect additional $150 million. I don't know if it's that great of a difference, but I can tell you that from personal incomes, it's extremely important. So if there's any way that we as a group can help you to reestablish that line item, I'd be willing to work with you and everyone in this room to do that. The other question I had, and that was just more of a statement, the question, last year I talked to the administration about maybe shifting this line item to DCNR. DCNR has the foresters, has the education, has some of the people that deal with this on a more regular basis. So, you know, I was just wondering your thoughts on that transfer of this line item to DCNR line item.
Yeah, well, first on the Hardwood Development Council appropriation specific, I mean, a couple of years ago, in the between administrations, there was this line, you know, that always went away, and we had to bring it back. So to remove the uncertainty for the employees, I moved the 2 employees that are, you know, in the Hardwood Development Office to the GGO line item, just to make sure that they were never sort of in question, right? That human capital was really the key to opening markets and doing the, you know, the work of working with landowners and so forth. So the 2 employees attached to the Hardwood Development Council are on GGO. The program dollars, however, are what you see in this appropriation that's zeroed out. We are working with the Hardwood Development Council on a federal grant that has support at the Woodmobile. We're working with them in terms of hardwoods as well. I would say that they are another sort of beneficiary of the governor's proposal for the PIDA funding and the DCED to do investments in sawmills. Certainly they're significant. 17 million acres in Pennsylvania are covered by hardwoods. It is significant, 700,000 landowners. So we're not Penn's Woods or Commonwealth without the hardwoods industry, for sure. Specific to DCNR, you know, the U.S. Department of Agriculture considers U.S. Forest Service as part of the Department of Ag. And I guess I would look at that as a model to say that our relationship, both as a federal agency with the USDA, would mirror what they're doing and would want to keep the hardwoods industry as part of agriculture. I think to your point, Representative, is that the council has a representative from DCNR on as well as DCED on it to make sure that as a council and as an industry, they're sensitive to what is happening across the state. We look at that industry as certainly a significant part of agriculture, as I noted with Chairman Adolph's question about the size of ag and significance of. So it is so embedded in agriculture, and certainly many of the folks who would be production ag as defined by the USDA also have a woodlands. In that woodland is counted in the hardwood side, but wouldn't be counted in the USDA numbers. So it really is difficult to segment the two from my perspective. And we certainly want to work with them and really look at that resource as a commodity, as a crop. And therefore, everything that we do for other commodities ought to be extended to the hardwoods industry as well.
Thank you so much. I mean, we really could use your expertise in this because this is, like I said, I think it's something that we can do, whether it be grants to protect those lands. Those families in my district are challenged. They cannot currently drill for natural gas. They are in the Delaware River Basin, so they cannot drill for natural gas. So they're sitting on a resource of land that they cannot tap into, a resource that they feel like they've owned for generations. So they rely on cutting the timber and doing some of these things. So if there are grants out there to help protect these large tracts of land, I would say if we really care about protecting the water, that's what we have to do, because those families, those businesses and families are extremely challenged. So thank you, and if there's anything we can do to help you, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you.